The truth is, you don't need a stage to become a great speaker. You just need a strategy. In this video, I am going to break down how I practice my keynotes without using an audience. So first things first is you need to hear yourself speak out loud. Don't just write it down and read it in your head. You need to record yourself. First, record yourself using the voice memo app on your phone and just listen back to the audio. I want you to write down a theme. Maybe you're talking about leadership or overcoming adversity. I want you to press play and I want you to record yourself speaking without any notes, without reading anything at all, for at least 10 minutes. Speak about leadership, try to tie in personal stories, and see how far you can go without having to read anything. See what's already in here so you have a starting point. When that's done, listen back 3 times. The first listen, you are looking for profound information, things that stood out for you that you're like, I wish I would have said more about that. I want you to write down some deeper questions to get deeper answers, questions to ask yourself to go deeper in that direction. Then I want you to listen back a second time. The second time, you are listening for irrelevant information, information that doesn't need to be there, stuff that you're like, I probably should cut that because it's not as profound as this other stuff that I already found. Then you're going to listen a third time, and this time is all about tone and speed. So you might have said some really cool stuff, but you said it really, really fast and nobody could understand you, right? Or you might have slowed down to the point that you had to fill up a bunch of ums and likes and stuff like that that you want to trim anyways. So the third time you're listening for tone and speed. And the truth is, you could do this process over and over and over. So now all you have to do is take the notes and try again and again and again and again until it's polished. And this way you are creating a speech that was spoken first, and then you could get it transcribed, written out so you can memorize it visually. If you write your speech first and then you memorize what you wrote, it's going to sound robotic because you wrote it in written language and you memorized it in written language. This way, you're memorizing it in spoken language and writing it down in spoken language and reading it in spoken language so it sounds authentic. Now, when I say do this over and over and over, I literally mean do it over and over and over. If you want to be great at something, it is going to take repetition over time. Fun little story for you. When I was about 19 years old, living in Los Angeles, I was at my apartment complex, and I would practice so much on the roof of my apartment complex that eventually my neighbors called the cops. They called the cops because they said night after night after night, this dude would stand up on the roof for 4+ hours just talking out loud to the point that I disturbed the peace of the neighbors. That's how much I want you to practice. All right, moving on to tip number 2. Once you have that speech, that 10-minute speech polished because you've said it so many times, you wrote it down, you're reading it now, you're memorizing it in spoken language, it's time to take it in front of a camera. Record yourself giving the speech, and then you are going to watch it back multiple times. You can do this 3 times again and repeat. So what you're going to do first is make sure that you didn't change any of the information. Did you give the same speech, or did you let the camera kind of throw you off? And that usually happens. It sounds crazy, but you could give the same speech 1,000,000 times, and then as soon as somebody puts a camera in your face, you forget it and you freeze. So you have to get used to the camera in your face, because that camera at this point represents those eyeballs that will eventually be on you. So if you're freezing in front of a camera alone in your room, imagine what it's going to feel like in front of 500 people or 5,000 people, right? So you want to get comfortable in front of the camera. So when you're listening back, first listen to see if you changed any of the information because you were nervous. If you did, then obviously write down where you went wrong, what you changed, and rewrite it back into what it is and practice again and again. The next time that you watch it back, this will be the second time, I want you to mute the video and just watch yourself talk. Watch your body language. See what you're doing with your hands. See if you're even looking at the camera. See if every time you look up, if you're stuttering because you're trying to remember a certain part of your speech. And at that point, you need to timestamp it and say, hey, this is what I need to practice more because this part of the speech, I start to get a little fidgety and I'm looking up and down and I'm not making eye contact because I'm desperately trying to recall this information. It's a great way to pinpoint the parts of your speech that you don't know very well because you will physically start to see you panic. Now, the third time that you watch it back, I want you to turn the sound back on, and this time you are going to celebrate everything that you did right. These are the moments that you were really into it, moments that you saw the hand gestures, you saw yourself get excited. These are things that you really, really know, and so you're not scared in those moments because there's no uncertainty and you know the information. This is what you've been doing well. This is the part of what you've practiced that you're actually retaining as long-term memory, and these are going to be the core pillars of your speech. These are the things that I can really go deep on because I really know it, and I can visually and audibly see that in this video. All right, now it's time to move on to tip number 3, which is get real quality feedback. Notice I said real and quality because it does matter who you ask. I want you to ask people that you look up to, people that are doing the thing that you want to do. Hey, what do you think about this speech? Ask a speaker that is doing better than you. Ask them on social media. Follow them on social media and post and share this video with them and say, hey, can you give me 5 tips of constructive criticism? Some of you watching this video right now who do follow me on Instagram have actually seen me send you videos and say something like, hey, I am workshopping this idea right now. What do you think about it? Was it clear? Was it concise? Is there anything that you would change? Is there anything you wish I would have said? Did I say too much? Like, I ask those questions all the time to my peers. They call social media a platform for a reason because it's a platform just like a stage for you to project your voice and for people to give you feedback. The content that does well organically and people start to comment and say, this is good. Oh, that's good. That's how you know that this is the right direction. I need to go deeper. And at the same time, if you've been posting something over and over and over again and people are just not responding, then maybe it's not the correct content. Of course, you have to take this one with a grain of salt because maybe you don't have a social media following yet and you are new to social media. So that's why you have to go find the people first that you look up to and ask them for real-time feedback. If you ask 50 people, I promise you, you could at least get 5. And 5 might be all you need, especially if they are professional speakers. Now, notice I said professional speakers, not mom, dad, brother, sister. Yes, we love them, but they may be unable to see you in any other position besides their family. Therefore, they are not able to give you the correct criticism that you need simply because they lack the knowledge and perspective. So go find people that you look up to and see if they will give you real feedback. All right, if you made it this far, then you definitely deserve a bonus tip. This one's not for everybody, but I actually highly recommend it and I love it, and it's really helped me over the past few years. I have some Meta goggles that I put on, some VR goggles, and I put myself in a theater room in front of a virtual audience and I practice my speech. And I do this over and over and over again just to be familiar with being on stage. If you are someone who has never been on a stage before in front of people, this is a very powerful exercise. Visualization is powerful. I don't care who you are. Go listen to athletes, to artists, to people that you look up to. They will talk about the power of visualization. If you can see it in your head, then you can hold it in your hands, is the saying. So I try to put myself on as many virtual stages as I do actual stages, and I am just very comfortable in that position on stage in front of people. And it's because by the time I reach the real stage, I've already been on this virtual stage 100 times, given this exact speech. Now all I have to do is do exactly what I do at home. That's it for today's video. If you liked it, don't forget to like it, comment, subscribe, all that jazz on YouTube. And if you're interested in becoming a part of our SpeakHyve speaker community, then hit the link below and you can join today. And I'll see you on the inside. Peace.